We are the only access. We have to save ourselves. I was born David Goggins. David Goggins wasn't good enough. He was a scared, bullied, abused kid who struggled in life. And that kid, whenever something got tough, no matter how hard I trained, no matter how ready I was, whenever something got tough for me, David Goggins, the real David Goggins, would come out and he would quit. You know, I didn't want to sit back and, you know, just enjoy my retirement from the military. There's no growth in that. The growth for me is in that $12 to $15 an hour when you're out there and it's like 20 degrees and you're freezing your ass off and you're thinking, you know what? I don't need to be here anymore. And you start questioning yourself why you're here. And there's a lot of growth in that. So I had to build Goggins. And in that process, I had to go back to that mental lab. That mental lab is in that trained humility. And so that's where I get better. I get better when I'm digging holes in the ground, when I'm waking up early knowing I don't have to do these things. That's where I get better. You have to learn to cap success. I'm a guy who wants to make people better. For people to get better, I have to continuously get better myself. You must continue to evolve. Cut out all the noise, get back to the mental lab, because that's where the knowledge came from. All the knowledge for myself comes from that place. It doesn't come from the place of success. My knowledge does not come from a place of, because for me, I built Goggins from the ground up. It's important to stay hungry, but it's important more to stay humble within that hunger. He was a servant. He didn't look at himself any better than anybody else. And the second you do that, you totally lost. And you can't just always be, head down in the sand. You got to learn to pick yourself up on your own. A lot of times these fights and these battles, you got to be your own coach. You got to be your own motivator. I always look at people. I know where you are. I know where, because I've been there. That's why I help so many people out. I've never been above you. I've always pretty much been beneath you, and that's where my knowledge came from. So I know how to reach those people who are in the dungeon because I've been there so many times. There's very few people in this world who want to do a job like that. And it takes a different kind of mindset. The loud voices of this world are the 99% who don't understand exactly what you have to do. That's why when I speak and you don't understand me, it's probably a good thing. Well, there's only one thing you haven't examined yet, and it's going back to the beast, going back to the demon. So when I went back to him, I realized that was the unsolved mystery. I had to look that man in the eye one more time. I started doing research on him, found out that his dad used to beat him. I had to understand who my father was, understand where he came from. I got my answers, took those answers, and made myself better from the answers about him. I'm trying to build people up. I'm trying to armor their mind. I'm trying to get them to believe, because this world we live in is tough. If I can help you build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness and it will just hammer you. You need to get to a point in your life where there's nothing on the docket. There's no 5K, there's no I'm gonna get into school to be this or that, and still perform to the highest level. One day that thing's gonna come up. And if you're not constantly performing without purpose, you're not going to be ready when the time comes. But we don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us, because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. That is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself. So the reason I get up every day, even though there's no race or there's no school or there's nothing in front of me, is because I have pride in myself. It's so easy to be great nowadays, my friend, because most people are weak. Most people don't want to go to that extra mile. Most people don't want to find that extra. I was the same way. And that used to hurt me growing up. Now I thrive in that. That's the only place to be.